Hi, Kat Hartliebe here. I did a poetry reading for 35K and I'm trying to separate the poem from my chatter. I try. I hopefully will succeed and do this with all my poems that I feel like giving the population. You guys want to listen to all my poems, right? Do you realize my goal is 9,000 poems? Over 9,000 poems. It's not even just 9,000. I have lifetime goals that are beyond what is considered normal. But I am beyond what's considered normal, so it's fine. I'll reach it. I might not do poetry readings for all of them, though, especially some of them that I don't necessarily want to connect to my brand. You're gonna find some things in All or Nothing that are gonna be nowhere else. That's okay. Maybe I will end up creating Hartliebe and stuff that isn't necessarily like others. So 35K is a writing poem. I want to put it into my writer's stuff book when I finally get it out. So this would be between different chapters, which would be basically your blog posts. Saw a butterfly. Anyway, they would be the blog posts that I have posted. I need to go through that and do a whole bunch of work on it, and it's just a lot, and I have not been willing to do it. Anyway, 35K is talking about a particular story. Now, I did not recall which story it was until I got to closing off book number 53. That means this was a modern werewolves book that I was working on. There is a lot of fucking books in modern werewolves. It's the only one that I have that number, more than that number, in the series. My next longest series is Organization, but that's only at book 11. Modern Werewolves, I calculated has over 70 different stories attached of varying lengths. The shortest one is a couple thousand, the longest one is about 100K. Yeah, I'm normal again. Normal for me is not normal for anyone else. Please do not judge yourself based off of my skill set or my abilities or anything. I am myself, and this is normal for me. Pulling off massive numbers very quickly, creating these absurd level of work so supposedly easily. Ask Syro. Syro is like pissed off at the level of skill that I pull off. Those poems you see posting on Instagram, you see how quickly I can drop them, right? That is the truth. That is how quickly I drop them. There is only ideas walking into those poems, and sometimes the idea isn't truly there until after it's written. Those are all raw. All of them. If it's not raw, it's going to be posted as the picture, and you'll notice that several of the graphics are. And sorry, switching because there's a truck that pulled up next to me. I'm actually took my mom to therapy today. So there is a lot of work on my hands and I am managing. But I don't expect that out of anyone else. So even though I'm creating writer's stuff and I want to give my information, the bonuses and the skill sets that I've learned, because most of my writing stuff is learned. My storytelling ability and the speed that I work at, that's innate. But the writing, actual skill set there, that is all practice. That is all figuring it out. How do I do it? Because I've always created stories since the beginning. I recall, like, the first memories that I have are stories. I recall sitting in my high chair looking down at my dog, and I would push the toy. I don't even know what toy it was. It was something on my high chair table, and I pushed it off. I could not see it. I did not truly have that permanence ability yet, but my dog would enjoy it. So I created a story around the concept of my toy going to my dog. And my dog will eventually get yelled at and I get the toy back. Until they stop giving me the toy, because I kept pushing it off to give to the dog. Or the fact that I got two stories that I wrote as a toddler that I rewrote more recently. I wrote them as a toddler. I did not know my letters yet. I was writing scribbles across the page trying to get the story out. Nobody could read it, not even me. But I have memories of it, so I know what the story was, and I know what I was trying to say. And the rewrites of them are amazing compared to whatever my toddler me would have wrote. Because the shit that I read when, as a child, the child shit that I wrote is pretty crappy, all in all. And it's nothing against my skills as a storyteller. It really was against the skills of training and writing. I was not an expert craftsman when it came to writing as a child. I probably would have reached like a journeyman level in my teen years, and yet I still didn't complete a novel. I'm a short story writer more than anything else, as you could probably guess. I didn't finish my first novel until college, and I didn't really have my editing and critiquing abilities until college. And really, it wasn't until I started buckling down with the author, with publishing, that I really pushed myself over my limits and reached classifications of mastery. They suggest 1,000,000 words. When you've written 1,000,000 words, you should be at master class. And I have to say, yeah, that was about where the transition went. And editing, the same thing. When you hit 1,000,000 words edited, it's a different experience. And yeah, I've definitely have done a lot of editing on a lot of different people and a lot of my own work. And figuring out what works, what doesn't work, how do I get better at it? It's a skill that you have to practice. And that's the biggest thing with writing. It's not so much that the book will be about all these different hints, tips, tricks, and whatnot, like I had to go through, that I had to learn and figure out, or that was taught to me by various people who came before me. But it's a skill like any other, and all skills need practice. So if you want to become a better writer, if you want to hit 35K and head for an ending on your book 53, then you just need to start. Start writing. You can't become better without that. And it doesn't matter who you are, you can get better. That's how it works. Some people will just need more than 1,000,000 words, and some people seem to hit mastery before 1,000,000 words. I would probably classify myself in that category. But that's neither here nor there, because it really comes down to anyone can do it if they put in the time and effort. And if you got a story to tell, I'm here to help support you so that we can see what that story is that you need to tell the world. I would love to hear it. I'd love to read it. Can't wait.